Hello everybody, welcome back to Let's Play Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations. Last time we started the fourth chapter, Turnabout Beginnings. It's Mia's first trial and it's pretty intense right off the bat because a familiar face showed up with a not so familiar name. Melissa Foster, But yeah, long story short, officer was found dead in the trunk of a car. This guy is being blamed for it. And we have reason to believe that it was in fact Melissa Foster who did it. She looks an awful lot like somebody named Dahlia Hawthorne, who shares the same last name as the victim. Let's go. Mr. Falls, I'm sorry. I want to say thanks. You're real good. You really hooked me up. Thanks. We're almost there. Was I prove that she committed the crime? Yeah, but there's one more big obstacle we've got to get past. Obstacle? Yeah, motive. Why did Melissa Foster kill that policewoman anyway? Motive, huh? Anyway, we're still badly in need of information. Information? Right. We need the most is info about this Melissa Foster herself. All we know is that she's a student studying literature. And one more thing. What is it? Well, the incident that happened 5 years ago, of course. The kidnapping murder case that Zebra Boy is on death row for. I didn't do nothing. I didn't kill nobody. I never lie. Mr. Falls, in that case, tell us more about it. About what happened 5 years ago. Okay, I trust you. That day. I like how his face just got like all serious and detailed now that he's telling the truth. 5 years ago, I dream of it every day. This picture, it reminds me everything. Bridge looks same, just like then, 5 years ago. Like it could fall apart any minute. So it's been broken like that for at least 5 years. Ha! Sorry buddy, but you sound like the one that could fall apart at any minute. It's true, I did kidnap her. 5 years ago. Kidnapped my girlfriend, Dahlia Hawthorne. Okay, dude, like, I was rooting for you up until you said this. Because if that was the case, she was 14 while you were 20. There's some issues here. Your girlfriend? Huh? Hey, hold on there. Did you say Hawthorne? The victim's last name? Dahlia Hawthorne. Valerie's little sister. What? Are you serious? The girl, let her go. Shut up, could come closer, and I kill her. Sorry, but you're not going to get the chance. The detective back then was Valerie Hawthorne. At first I thought shooting someone for a kidnapping was crossing the line, but if it was to protect her little sister, I can understand why she did it. Wrong. No protect sister. Valerie betrayed me. Betray us. What do you mean she betrayed you? Everything. All lies. All make-believe. Kidnapping too. A make-believe kidnapping? Dahlia, my girlfriend, my love, my teen angel. Did he actually say my teen angel? He's seen one too many soap operas. And one too many Woody Allen films. I do anything she says. Anything Dahlia says. Anything Dahlia says? Hold on a minute. What you're saying is that the kidnapping 5 years ago was planned by... Yeah, me and Dahlia. And Valerie too. Valerie was in on it? What is going on? Dahlia's family rich. Jewelry business. We get one jewel. That's what we thought. Me and Dahlia wrote kidnap note. We send to her dad. Ask for a $2 million diamond. Tell him make exchange on Dusky Bridge. We tell him Valerie make transfer because she knew detective. Having a police detective in your pocket is a useful thing, alright. In the end, you were planning on splitting the 2 million 3 ways, huh? Yeah, but that woman... That woman, Valerie, she do it for real. She shoot at me for real. Me and Dahlia. But she shot... I was shot in the arm. Dahlia, she jump in river. Jump? You don't mean she jumped on purpose, do you? I couldn't do it. I could never push her. Anyway, I blacked out. Wake up with police all over. And that's when they decided to give you the death sentence. I couldn't believe it. That woman, she betrayed me. That man, Terry Falls, he killed her. He threw her off the bridge. He threw my beloved sister into the roaring river 40 feet below. These 5 years, all I wonder is why? 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 Why did she lie? Is all I want to know. So that's why you called her. You wanted to hear the truth from Valerie herself. Yes, but I forget what she looked like, so I told her to wear a scarf. I don't want to hurt her. Just ask why. Why? Why did you lie? Why did you betray me? I just want to hear answer come from her mouth. That's all. So that's why you made a crazy escape like that. Just one thing, Zebra Boy. My senses are tingling all over. Tell me, Mr. Falls, where is it? Huh? Where is what? Come on now, kitten. The ransom. The $2 million diamond. Remember that now? Did you give it back to Pops? Did the police take it? I don't know. Huh? You don't know? No, really, I don't know. It's gone. With Dahlia. With Dahlia. That day, on the bridge. Dahlia put it in backpack. Now gone. With Dahlia. Gone. Forever. Into Eagle River. It disappeared with Dahlia, huh? Wait a minute. You can come back in now. We're about ready to go. Mr. Falls, just one more question. When you said with Dahlia, do you mean the diamond is still missing? Along with the body of Dahlia Hawthorne? Never found her, my sweet Dahlia. They never found her. Swallowed by river. Gone. Dahlia, my teen angel. You're a teen angel. How old was she anyway? Just 14. 14? I guess you were robbing cradles before diamonds. She plans a fake kidnapping and disappears into the river with a rock worth 2 mil. And oh man, angels these days. Falls takes the fall, gets a one-way ticket to death row. Is Dahlia Hawthorne an angel, or is she really a foster child? I love what I did there. I'm vain like that. It's time, kitten. Looks like we have a few more aces up our sleeve now. You bet. Diamond added to the court record. Training wheels come off now, Mia. You gotta strike while the iron is hot. That's one of my rules. Remember it. Ooh, I'm ready. Even though I only have like 1 hit point left. Now then, let's continue with the trial of Mr. Terry Falls. Witness, are you feeling better?
Yes, Your Honor. I'll try my best.
You're a brave young lady. Not this again. But wait, how did Mia forget this then? The moment, like, she heard Phoenix's girlfriend's name in her second trial, she should have been like, wait a minute, did you just say? And then we have the court record, whatever. Alright, not this again. I can understand a defense lawyer wanting to get her client off the hook. However, to try to pin the crime on an innocent student is... What are you talking about? My witness is not the person on trial here. She's an innocent bystander who witnessed a violent crime. What possible reason would a girl like this have for murdering a policewoman? It's certainly hard to imagine this woman as a murderer. Her motive, huh? I figured that's what I had to establish next. Well, Miss Faye, do you have any evidence of a motive? Yes, of course. I think. Ha. You're still acting as tame as a kitten. Kitten. Mr. Armando. Listen. A lawyer is someone who smiles no matter how bad it gets. Smiling on the outside while your guts are twisted in knots is the mark of a pro. Maybe so, but I wish you would quit grinning at me like that.
Excuse me. May I speak, Mr. Judge?
Of course. Mr. Judge is ready any time you like.
I'd like to say something. Some people here are suspicious of me, right? That's why I at least wanted you, Mr. Judge, to know that it's not true.
I see. You're such an honest and upstanding young lady. Looks like this witness is a real professional. Well, what do you mean? Look at that 100-watt smile. Just when things are darkest for her, click, she lights right up. Very well then, let's hear what the witness has to say. Melissa Foster's history.
I was out of the country until the year before last. Until I entered college, I had never even been to Eagle Mountain before. And I certainly didn't have any reason for wanting to hurt a police officer, holding a grudge and killing the officer who testified against you 5 years ago. Or kidnapping a poor girl. I just think the defendant is a terrible, horrible monster.
Out of the country, eh? Precisely. Furthermore, she has no possible motive for committing murder. Indeed. You're up to bat, kitten. Sharpen those claws and put on your best smile. You bet. Somehow I have to tie her to this case. Okay. Well then, where were you? So, what country were you living in then?
We were all living abroad, but after my parents were killed...
It was a brutal civil war. She had to try to make her way back home alone.
I lost everything. I didn't even have any personal identification.
What kind of sob story is this? What do I do? Should I press her for details? Yeah. Witness, answer my question. I'll even repeat it for you. What country were you in? Your Honor, this line of questioning is childish. What country she was in and how many languages she may speak are irrelevant here. What we are here to evaluate is whether this witness has any connection to this case.
I've lived abroad ever since I was a little girl. That's why I could never have known Mr. Falls or Detective Hawthorne.
Yes, I think we've established that point. Yes, indeed. Well then, shall we add what you've just stated to the official testimony?
Yes, please, Mr. Judge.
That's going to be important. You didn't know either person. Are you certain of that?
Yes, I'm afraid I'm rather shy around people. Rarely I am.
Oh well, that can't be helped. Why is he just agreeing with everything that comes out of her mouth? First time you saw either of them was when they were on the bridge, correct?
Yes, it really was a coincidence.
Just gonna press on everything. So what made you decide to go to Eagle Mountain anyway?
I just love being outdoors. Picnics, hiking, you know, that sort of thing.
You don't look like much of a hiker to me, but you do look like a digger of sorts. But Eagle Mountain is a 2-hour drive from here and no trains run through there. There are plenty of mountains that are closer and easier to get to.
Well, I went there once with the college hiking club. I fell in love with its stark, desolate beauty and its cold yet romantic gloominess.
Didn't know you were such a goth. By the way, what's the name of your college? Prosecution objects to any questions that involve the witness's private life. All that matters is that she is a material witness to a crime. The witness doesn't need to respond to questions that are clearly malicious in intent.
Thank you. She's really gone too far.
Miss Faye, you're treading on thin ice here. Hardly said anything. Talk about sensitive. Like wrapped around the judge's finger, and then Edgeworth is just here to win by any means necessary. Tough. Perhaps, but your behavior that day was very suspicious. Not only have you contradicted yourself here in court, but you know things you shouldn't. For example, the scratches on the trunk of the car.
Well, that's...
Unfortunately, Miss Faye, your last statement proves nothing. Oh really? And why is that? The witness came to the police station once to identify the suspect. It's entirely possible that, at that time, an officer showed her this photo. Seems like a rather serious mistake. That's the oldest trick in the prosecutor's book.
That's not fair. That wicked inmate, I'll never be able to forget that horrible day.
A grudge?
Well, the policewoman's testimony was crucial, wasn't it? Crucial in getting the defendant sentenced to death.
Yes, and that's precisely why he harbored such deep anger against her. So much anger that he forgot his own guilt. My client has always maintained that he's innocent of those charges.
He seems rather forgetful. Your client, I mean.
Oh, you evil bitch.
Not only did he forget about what he did, but he forgot the poor policewoman as well.
What do you mean by that?
Your client, he forgot what the detective looked like, right? It's too bad for her that he didn't forget about her testimony as well.
Well, she's right about that. Mr. Falls is kind of forgetful. You said he forgot what the detective looked like. What do you mean by that?
Well, he couldn't tell who she was without some kind of identification, right?
Quite right. That's why the victim was wearing a scarf as identification.
Why, if I hadn't been wearing a white scarf that day, then he probably would have tried to kill me.
That's true. He's clearly a bitter man. This is bad. Mr. Falls' reputation just keeps getting worse and worse. Sometimes it's best not to poke too deep. Try to do with that last statement. Have it added to the testimony. Your Honor, what the witness said just now was tremendously important. I'd like it added to the official testimony. Prosecution has no objection. After all, the defendant is a killer and a mentally unbalanced one at that. That testimony only helps to further prove that point. No, that's not why Enough. Witness, if you would.
My pleasure, Mr. Judge.
This might seem bleak, but I think that's important. Also, I can't check the logs. Okay, hopefully I did not screw up. So we have that. What do you mean by lucky?
Well, it's February now. Everyone is wearing scarves. If I had accidentally worn a white scarf like he said,
Then you yourself might have been killed. That would have been a terrible loss for this world. Ha! Looks like you pressed too hard this time, kitten. It's Armando. Keep looking around you and you're going to lose sight of the finish line. Justice is blind, but she's not deaf. Sometimes you have to know when not to talk. Okay, fair enough. I thought that would be important. Because I guess I did misread that. I thought it said she was wearing a white scarf. You knew about that incident? But weren't you out of the country until the year before last?
well, I saw a report about the escaped convict on the news. They had an in-depth report about his whole history.
So you're still living abroad 5 years ago, is that right?
Yes.
I can't let her get away with these lies. Listen to me. She's neck deep in this whole thing. Somehow you're just going to have to get her to show the court her true self. It was a coincidence. Um... Huh. Give me a moment here. Oh, we have this. Dahlia Hawthorne, deceased. Valerie's younger sis, victim of the kidnap murder, fell from the bridge, no body found. Okay. Still don't know what to present here. Wait. Because there is something very wrong with that, actually. Didn't know either the victim or the defendant. She first saw them when she was taking that picture. But why would you say this? You're lucky you weren't wearing a white scarf. That implies you encountered him. Or rather, there was a point where he could have seen you. That means she crossed in front of him at least once. This is the only thing I can really think of, like, nothing else there. I don't know. Because that's the only thing I feel like could be the case, but it kind of feels like I'm clutching at straws here. This is the only thing that seems suspicious. But what would I present here? Hmm. Wait, it's that? Okay. Took a chance on that one. Witness, I want you to look at this photo you took. It's hard to see in the photo, but look at the scarf the victim wore as identification. Ah, you're talking about this scarf right here, eh?
Yes, that's it. The scarf the policewoman was wearing.
I've got her now. Just don't mess up.
But that's strange.
In your testimony, you stated the following. I guess I'm lucky I wasn't wearing a white scarf. Did Edgeworth mention the fact that it was white? Because I was going to get her for that at first, but I couldn't remember if he had mentioned it was white. My God, this game not having a log that's easily accessible, it can be rough at times. But yeah, like there's no other option that I'm missing here. White? This is the scarf you identified as belonging to the victim. But it certainly doesn't look white to me. Oh, we're just getting on that technicality. Okay. Does it seem like the strongest? Well, it was foggy that day and it was raining as well. It's not surprising that she mistook it for white. Sorry, but not this time. The witness just confirmed that this was the victim's scarf. Yes, but what's the significance? It's true that the scarf doesn't look white, but there's only one explanation for this mix-up. The reason why the witness thought the scarf was white is the picture. Let me make sure because I do not have the health here to screw around, but that's the only thing. It's a black and white photo. Here's the definitive piece of evidence that proves it. That's your definitive piece of evidence? Yes, if my thinking is correct. Well then, we have one mystery solved. The answer is simple. Miss Faye's thinking is wrong. What? Huh? Gotta do something. You're killing me over here. That is the only thing. Okay. One fucking moment. Okay. Plan B, the victim's note. Because it says to wear the white scarf. Witness? Have you ever seen this note? Okay, fine.
No, no, never.
It's top secret evidence. There is no reason that you would have. I wonder about that.
What do you mean?
This note shows Mr. Falls' instructions to the victim regarding their meeting. It says, wear white scarf for identification. White scarf? Witness, you knew what this note said. So that wasn't brought up while she was in here? Because Edgeworth mentioned the scarf. I vividly remember him mentioning the scarf, like right before this. It's because you knew that you slipped up and mistakenly said white scarf. Being able to check the logs would help so much right now. So, because I could have sworn he mentioned the color. Being able to check the logs will help so much. Well, Miss Foster? Unless there is a way and I'm just, like, missing it. Order, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm waiting for an explanation. Just making sure. I'm pressing other buttons. Yeah, there's no log button. Just wanted to make sure I wasn't missing anything. Alright. Guess you gotta pay attention the first time. I'm quite sure this note wasn't leaked to the public. And yet, this witness knew exactly what the note said. At the time of the murder, the number of people that knew were quite limited. Terry Falls is one. The person who wrote this note, Valerie Hawthorne, is another. And finally, one more person. Did you say one more person? That's right. Person that no one would have suspected. Have you figured it out, kitten? Yep. Third person that knew the contents of the note was... you. Hang on there, kitten. What is it, Mr. Armando? Here. Make some special cafe con leche for you. Put in plenty of sugar. Drink it up before it gets cold. Don't be shy. Why are you doing this? Your brain needs stimulation. Drink some of this and then think it over again. Listen. Keep messing up like that and you're going to get the judge mad. Huh? Miss Faye. Just stand there casually drinking coffee. Oh my fucking god. What? What is... oh. Alright, so then who was the other... okay, clearly I just need to slow down and just, like, think everything over. Don't do anything until I'm triple sure. But the note did have Dahlia's name in it. That's the only one I can think of. None of these other ones would make sense. They gave me, like, they hurt me for this one. It would be nice if you could actually, you know, regain health across court dates. Because that's... oh, okay, whatever. You're the only remaining one. Let me make sure there's nothing in evidence. None of these are people. And that person is Dahlia Hawthorne. Okay. Dahlia Hawthorne? Never heard that name before. Look at the victim's note. This is what it says. Talk to Dahlia. Tell her this time, there's her name. Right there. What's this? Who is this person? This Dahlia Hawthorne? Miss Faye must be desperate if she's trying to bring the dead back to life. The dead? Dahlia Hawthorne was the victim's deceased younger sister. She was killed in a crime 5 years ago. Killed in a crime? You don't mean... Yes, she was kidnapped and killed by Terry Falls. You said she was killed, but was she really? What are you implying? Of course, people thought she had died 5 years ago, when she fell off of Dusky Bridge and was lost in the Eagle River. However, her corpse was never found. She was declared legally dead 5 years ago. As far as the law is concerned, Dahlia Hawthorne is officially dead. But the fact remains that her body was never recovered. Dahlia Hawthorne was 14 years old 5 years ago. If she were still alive, she would be 19 now. Melissa Foster? I believe that's the same age you are. Even you couldn't. Miss Faye, you're not sane. But I am. That's precisely what I'm saying. This witness before us is the girl that was kidnapped and killed 5 years ago. This girl's in fact Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. What? Ah, nice work. That was like tossing a grenade into a 3-alarm fire. What? But unless you can tie all the loose ends together, you're nothing but a hit-and-run arsonist. I understand. Okay, well, can you explain to me? Because I don't. Grenade into a 3-alarm fire? A hit-and-run arsonist, but I mean, grenades don't cause fire, they just explode. I mean, maybe a Molotov? Whatever. If I can expose her true nature, I can turn this whole case on its head. Now's my chance to make Mr. Edgeworth squirm. Witness, just who are you anyway? I didn't think it'd come to this. That's enough. You don't have to say any more, witness.
Yes, I understand.
What? Mr. Edgeworth, explain yourself. Your Honor, I have an admission to make. Honestly, never thought the defense would pursue the matter this far. You don't mean... Yes, the prosecutor's office isn't filled with fools, you know. Naturally, we conduct full background checks on all of our witnesses. What did he say? Ah, looks like the kid knew. He knew her true identity from the get-go. No way. But then why? If you hadn't revealed her secret, he wasn't going to say anything about it. All he wanted was her testimony, so he made a little trade. Let me introduce you to the victim's younger sister, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. But, I thought she died 5 years ago. We thought so as well. But, well, as you can see. Why? Why'd she hide her identity for 5 years? Also, why was he hiding this from the court record? That's blatant obstruction. Especially when... Like, you can't even say witness protection. Because she wasn't a witness. That's blatant obstruction. Her name is on a vital piece of evidence. She has history with both the victim and the alleged culprit. Is this considered one of the weaker the weakest trial of this game? And I know, like, there's one that's sort of widely regarded like that in each one. Like, a lot of people didn't really care for the circus one in the second game, me being one of them, but that was just because it dragged on a bit. But this is blatant obstruction. Whatever. This has nothing to do with the current case. Her real name is on a vital piece of evidence. She has... Okay. She's merely an accidental witness to a crime. Accidental? I don't believe that for a minute. For the last 5 years, she's been playing the role of victim. And now we find her acting suspiciously at the scene of another murder. Really, Miss Fay, I must say your strategy here is painfully obvious. You're trying to pin your client's crime on an innocent witness in order to win. At any cost, says you. How dare you? Please, let us take a moment to think. 5 years ago, this girl was kidnapped and nearly killed. But even worse than that, 5 years later, Dahlia Hawthorne lost something much more precious. Her big sister. Miss Fay must be insane to even suggest that she murdered her. I'm inclined to agree with the prosecutor's logic. Miss Fay, do you have any evidence to back up your assertion? What possible reason would this witness have for killing her beloved sister? I'm just gonna start doing safety saves now. Well, you see, I thought I was winning, but somehow he's turned it around on me. Ah, I think you need a little push in the right direction, kitten. The defense is prepared to present evidence supporting our claim. Ah, that wasn't me. It was this guy, this crazy coffee addict. I think we've heard enough empty threats from you, old man. Ha! What makes you think they're empty, boy? Because your protege looks like she's sweating bullets. I am sweating bullets. You think you're in a tough spot, huh? Of course, aren't I? No, you just arrived at the moment of truth, that's all. Whether you win or lose, that's up to you. Up to me. The rashness of youth, how charming. This coming from someone younger than me. Now then, let's not waste any more time. Miss Faye, what motive would this witness have for murdering her own sister, Valerie Hawthorne? Well, Edgeworth is being cocky because we have some evidence that he hasn't seen yet. What is this? Is this the defense's idea of a joke? So I certainly don't get the punchline. Well, Miss Faye? No! Explain the fucking... It's a $2 million diamond that went missing with her! This is the motive! She had the diamond. Then what else could I possibly present? Like, maybe they're trying to fake me out here, but... Unless I present Valerie because she was the key witness in the case? Whatever. Let's just see where this goes. Oh, that was the rashness of youth. The rashness of youth? And what's your point of furthering such a stereotype? And then, okay, great, thank you. Option B is this whole truth thing. Oh my fucking god. Okay. All right, I just need to like stop trying to go for the first possible thing then that I think is common sense and just think things through. The story starts after Terry Falls escaped. He called Valerie and told her he wanted to meet. This is the note she left. It says, talk to Dahlia. Tell her this time the whole truth must come out. Valerie Hawthorne gave Dahlia a warning. She told her she was going to reveal to the world the whole truth. The whole truth? There was a dangerously important secret between Valerie and Dahlia. That's the reason Dahlia felt she had to kill Valerie. To keep her mouth shut permanently. A terrific story, Miss Faye. If you like fiction, that is. Enlighten the court, Miss Faye. What was the secret that was so important? Where's your evidence? Dahlia and Valerie Hawthorne and Terry Falls. There's only one important secret that connects them all. Oh yes, I know this secret. Your Honor, the defense would like to request further testimony. What testimony? Regarding the kidnapping 5 years ago. We believe it will explain a lot of things. Such as the nature of the important secret between the Hawthorne sisters. Very well. I'll grant your request for further testimony. I know it'll be painful for you, but can you enlighten us once more, my little maple leaf?
Yes, I'll try, Mr. Judge.
Putting on the old charm one more time, Dahlia. But this will be the last time you hide behind your womanly wiles. Says you.
"5 years ago, I was kidnapped by Mr. Falls. The ransom price was a raw diamond. My sister Valerie brought it to the bridge. After she made the exchange, she shot Mr. Falls in the arm. That's when Mr. Falls tried to kill me by shoving me off the bridge from behind. I survived, but I was afraid I might be kidnapped again for my family's money, so I decided to change my identity and start a new life."
Kidnapping left her emotionally scarred. With her sister's help, she left the Hawthorne family and started all over again. And we're to believe after all that she murdered her sister? Preposterous. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. Miss Fay? Yes, Your Honor? As you've heard, the witness is still traumatized from the kidnapping. I'll ask you again to be extremely gentle in your cross-examination. Oh, I smell bullshit. Mr. Edgeworth got the jump on me again. Ha! If we're not allowed to fight, then let's twist some arms. Listen up. We've still got that info. That ace up our sleeve. What info? Come on, kitten. Don't say you've forgotten already. The fact that the kidnapping 5 years ago was staged. We don't have proof. Like, definitive proof. That's right. It was a fake kidnapping. Terry Falls told us that in the lobby. Do anything she says. Anything Dahlia says. You're saying is that the kidnapping 5 years ago was planned by... Yeah, me and Dahlia. And Valerie, too. Yes. That's it. The fake kidnapping is your best shot, Mia. That's her secret. I just want to press on this because this just seems weird. That was a dangerous thing to do considering you were being held hostage.
Yes, but actually that saved my life.
What do you mean?
You see, Mr. Falls was holding a knife in his right hand.
Keep that in mind, it's going to be important.
Somehow I just knew he was going to use it. I knew he was going to use that knife to kill me. That's why my sister shot him. It was to save me.
I'd like to hear more about what happened right at that moment.
When Mr. Falls was shot in the right arm, he let go of me. I was dazed. I turned to try to run away, but Mr. Falls turned to grab me as well. And as I ran past, he and I locked eyes for a second. He gave me a large, bloodthirsty grin.
Bloodthirsty grin? Ooh.
And in the next instant...
Okay, A, where were you running to? I advise the court to remember that the river is 18 feet deep and incredibly swift.
I was a strong swimmer, but I was knocked out. When I came to, I had been carried away by the river to a strange place. I'll never forget that day. The crumbling bridge, nowhere to run. And just one little shove from behind. That was it. Before my sister could catch me, I fell into the river.
And that new identity was Melissa Foster, right?
Yes, my sister helped me get the official paperwork taken care of.
That makes sense. Without an insider's help, doing all of the paperwork would have been impossible.
She was the only person left in the world I could count on. And you think I killed her? There's no way I could.
Some more truth for this witness, too. Once the truth about this staged kidnapping comes out, everyone in the court will know how much of a Jezebel she really is. Just gotta prove that kidnapping was a hoax. Making sure, pressing on everything. Did you and Mr. Falls have a relationship?
Yes, as a tutor.
You were tutoring him, Mr. Falls?
No, of course not. Don't be ridiculous. Mr. Falls came to the house to tutor me.
In what way? Have you heard him talk? That makes sense. 5 years ago, she was only 14. He probably came up with the kidnapping plan during that time. The Hawthorns are in the jewelry trade and are quite wealthy, you see. Quite the clever fellow, that Mr. Falls. Did I hear him right? Did he just call Mr. Falls a clever fellow? He was a tutor? I heard the diamond is valued in the neighborhood of $2 million. $2 million?
It was still uncut, so it was about the size of a pint of milk.
A $2 million pint of milk. I don't know what to think about that. The defendant demanded that her sister, Valerie, make the exchange. Not as a detective, of course, but as an individual. By the way, I want to ask you, Mr. Edgeworth, why do you think he wanted to make the exchange up there on that mountain? If he ever got surrounded, it would be hard to escape. There's one thing a kidnapper wants to prevent, and that's police involvement. In a place like that, it would be easy to tell if he was being followed. With only one entrance to the mountain, he was ensuring his safety.
What a wickedly clever man that Mr. Falls is.
Yeah, right. It was all your plan.
Anyway, Valerie brought the diamond to the mountain and...
Okay. And that's why you hid your identity?
Yes. Only told my sister.
Valerie Hawthorne, eh?
Yes. She's the only one who knew about me.
Meanwhile, legally, this witness has been deceased for 5 years.
I didn't ever want something like that to happen to me again.
A few of these don't add up. After she made the exchange, that implies that she gave him... First off, how? Because you said he had the knife in his right hand if he was holding you in the left. And the fact that this was lost. Then we also have the fact that, like, shoved you from behind. Like, blah, 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 you passed by him, but where were you going to run to? And the bridge has been unchanged for 5 years. Oh my god, I genuinely don't know what to present here. I feel bad for kind of save scumming through this. But this is a tough one. No, but that doesn't seem strong enough. But, I don't... Because she went into more detail in this, but it wasn't added to the testimony. Took a chance on it. It paid off. You say that Mr. Falls pushed you into the Eagle River. However, that's hard to believe.
But it's true. I felt a push on my back. I'm certain of it. It was Mr. Falls.
I'm sorry. I guess it wasn't clear enough. I shouldn't have said that's hard to believe. I should have said that's impossible.
Impossible?
I asked that the court recall the condition of Dusky Bridge, now and 5 years ago. That bridge hasn't changed one bit in these last 5 years. If someone had pushed you from behind as you have claimed, instead of being carried away by the river, true, you would have been smashed by the bedrock below. Most certain death. Do you understand now, Dahlia Hawthorne? The very notion that my client pushed you from behind is impossible. Your Honor, this event occurred 5 years ago. Why, for all we know, the water level in the river may have been higher back then. But it's 40 feet from the bridge to the river. A small change in the water level wouldn't have made a difference. Got him. You're right. The events occurred just as the witnesses testified. Then the defendant couldn't have pushed the witness into the river. Young lady, what is the meaning of this?
You see,
Just a moment, Your Honor. It's true that the witness testified that the defendant pushed her into the river. However, she never stated that she fell from the back end of the bridge. What do you mean? After being shot in the arm, it's plausible that Mr. Falls panicked. Therefore, he could have unwittingly pushed her off the side of the bridge. If that's true, she would have fallen into the river. Well, Miss Hawthorne, is Mr. Edgeworth's explanation correct?
now that you mention it, I do remember now when I fell off the bridge. My skirt got caught on one of the bridge's side wires.
You can't be serious. Order! Order in the court! Fucking bitch. Talking about Edgeworth here. Liar. Seems Miss Faye's assault has finally reached its conclusion. Not now, Mia. This is no time to retreat. Unfortunately for you, this is just the start of Miss Faye's assault. What? I believe your reasoning went something like this, Mr. Edgeworth. After being shot in the arm, it's plausible that Mr. Falls panicked. Therefore, he could have unwillingly pushed her off the side of the bridge. However, once again, I'm forced to say that's impossible. Ridiculous! What's so impossible about it? Because your flawed logic contradicts the court record. Okay, he's claiming he pushed her off the side. Oh, yeah. You ain't pushing nobody off the side of that. Your Honor, all the answers are right here in this photo. Take a look at the wires supporting both sides of the bridge. They extend up to about 5 feet off the ground. It'll be impossible to push someone off from there. But let's remember the size and strength of the defendant. Wires like this wouldn't be a problem for him. He could have easily picked up a 14-year-old girl and thrown her over after being shot in the arm. So young and already so forgetful, Mr. Edgeworth. Mr. Falls had been shot in the right arm. Ah. And more importantly, Valerie Hawthorne had her gun trained on him at point-blank range. So, Mr. Falls throwing the witness off the bridge? That is clearly impossible. Yeah, he's on the ropes. Order! Order! What is the meaning of this? Dahlia Hawthorne, you jumped into the Eagle River intentionally. What? What is this? Indeed, what do you mean by such a ridiculous remark?
Yes, it's ridiculous. My sister was there to help me. She had her gun and handcuffs. She could have saved me. Jumping into a raging river like that would have been suicide.
Perhaps, but still that's exactly what you did. You were probably confident that you could handle the swift current. But even more so, the witness had a much more compelling reason for jumping into the river. Oh, and what was it? What was so important that she'd want to jump into the river? The witness is still alive. This fact alone explains everything. This is why she risked her life by jumping into the rapids of the Eagle River. This is the only thing. Lost to Eagle River. Oh no. They dropped it and she needed to retrieve it. 5 years ago, something else disappeared along with Dahlia that day. The item that Valerie brought up the mountain with her, the $2 million diamond. Get him. No, it can't be. Yes, Dahlia had it all planned from the beginning. The $2 million, she was going to keep it all for herself. Oh, or that. Okay. That's the way I'm thinking. Like, what I was sort of getting at was, it was a joint effort to turn on Terry. And Valerie was going to kill him. But, like, in his shock, he dropped the diamond. Dahlia panicked and tried to jump in after it. That was just my conjecture. She forced Mr. Falls to help her fake the kidnapping. At the last minute, she betrayed him and threw herself into the river, with the ransom tucked away safely in her backpack. Uh-oh. Why, that's simply ridiculous. Order! 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 Your Honor, 5 years ago, the witness was only 14 years old. Do you really think a 14-year-old is capable of such a demonic plan? My dude, have you seen some 14-year-olds? Shit, how old were those girls that were doing that little, like, Slender Man thing where they almost killed a classmate? Like, come on, man. This woman is a demon. And there was one more person who helped make a demon out of her. Her sister, Valerie Hawthorne. You mean the victim was involved in the kidnapping plot as well? But she was a detective then. You're saying she participated in her sister's kidnapping? Precisely. I'm sure that it weighed heavily on her conscience for the past 5 years. This is the sole reason behind the victim's murder. What do you mean by that? On the day of the murder, after receiving the phone call from Mr. Falls, Valerie called her sister Dahlia. And then she told her what she was planning to do. Planning to do? She was going to tell the whole truth, as she wrote in her note. That is what sealed Valerie Hawthorne's fate. That is when you hatched your demonic plan to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. A plan that would ensure neither of your accomplices to the kidnapping would talk. And that is why you killed your sister, Valerie Hawthorne. He. Michael? Who is that? Laughing at a time like this? Oh, she big mad now. Forgive me, it's just hilarious. Witness? Is that you? You amuse me, woman. Miss Mia Fey. You can certainly weave an exciting tale. Naturally. You have the evidence to back it up, don't you? Evidence? Evidence that I planned the kidnapping, of course. That at 14, I plotted with Mr. Falls and my sister. Well, and one more thing. What happened to the $2 million diamond? If you can't provide evidence to at least show that. Well, Miss Fey, I don't know. What a joke, you Miss Fey. Are you stupid or something? How can I prove a fake kidnapping that happened 5 years ago? I don't even have decisive proof of Valerie Hawthorne's murder. Well, it seems that we've come to the end. To be honest, the witness's behavior does raise certain suspicions. However, I am forced to reject the assertions made by the defense. Of course you are. Is this it? Is it really over? That girl's made a fool of me and there's nothing I can do about it. Without evidence, the trial is over? Who decided that? Mr. Armando! Come on now, kitten. Haven't you figured out that you can make your own rules? For example, even if there's no evidence, there's still testimony. Testimony? Well, the day in question, Dahlia Hawthorne murdered her sister, Valerie Hawthorne. She hid her body in the trunk of Mr. Fall's stolen car and then went to meet with them. Disguised as her sister, Valerie Hawthorne. That's what you think, right? Yes, that's right. In that case, there's only one answer, right? There's only one person left who can testify about Valerie Hawthorne's murder. Since there's no proof, there's only one thing left to do. Who is the one person who can testify to that demon woman's crimes? Your Honor, the defense wishes to call a new witness. A new witness? Yes, we would like to hear the testimony of Terry Falls. The defendant? There's only one person that can shed any further light on the situation. Only one person that knows what Dahlia's role in the kidnapping was. Only one person that can say whether the person in the photo is Valerie Hawthorne, or whether it was in fact her younger sister Dahlia disguised as her. There's only one person who can solve this riddle once and for all, and that person is Terry Falls. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, what is your take on this? Why not? The prosecution has no objection. Very well. Bailiff, bring the defendant to the witness stand. This is my last chance, Mr. Falls. My last chance to establish Dahlia's guilt. You're all I have left. Okay, so like the oh this must be the weak trial of this game thing, that was kind of salty talk there, like closer to the beginning of this video, but I mean, that said, I'm still kind of salty over what I had to present, though in my I don't know, I guess Edgeworth probably didn't bring up the actual color, because I do vividly remember him bringing up the scarf, but maybe he did bring up the color. This was Danganronpa, I'd be able to check. Anyway, defendant, you've heard everything that's been said up to this point, yes? I don't believe it. No way. Dahlia died 5 years ago. Valerie betrayed me. Mr. Falls, I don't know what she said to you 5 years ago, but one thing is clear. Dahlia is very much alive. You were used for $2 million. That's not true. Mr. Falls, there's only one question I want the answer to. 2 days ago on Dusky Bridge, who did you meet? Was it Valerie Hawthorne? Or was it Dahlia Hawthorne? Dahlia, did you betray me? 5 years ago, she promised never ever betray each other.
Terry.
Dahlia, it's true. You are alive.
You don't trust me anymore? That makes me sad.
Tell the truth, the real truth. I believed in you.
I shouldn't need to say it. You should already know. But there is one thing that I will say. My life is in your hands right now, Terry.
Leah. Oh my god, is he really going to... I will allow Mr. Falls to testify once and only once. Well then, Mr. Falls, yours will be the final testimony in this trial. Witness! Yeah! Eek! I'm sorry, I apologize. Water, please, water. Can't talk. Need water. Ah. Oh well, I guess it'll have to be my coffee instead. At least it'll match the way he's probably feeling right now. Darker and bitterer than hell itself. Okay. Who Terry Falls saw? That day, 4 p.m., I stopped the car. I was in front of Bridge. She wasn't there, so I waited on Bridge. I watched my car from Bridge. I never put nobody in that car. Finally, one woman came. She stood in front of me. We talked, and she left. That was Valerie, not my Dahlia. Mr. Falls, you're covering for her. Do you think she would do the same for you? That's enough, Miss Fay. His last statement was a fitting way to end the final testimony of the trial. Well then, Miss Fay, please proceed with your cross-examination. Is this how you want it to end, Mr. Falls? Another guilty verdict to go along with your death sentence? There's only one person who can stop it. You, kitten. I think. According to the note, the meeting was supposed to take place at 4:30. You certainly arrived early, didn't you? It was raining, already dark too. You waited on the bridge for 30 minutes. Mr. Falls? Eagle Mountain, that spot. Strong memories. Why'd he just clam up? Could it be he's hiding something here? You were quite early, so you waited on the bridge, correct? Yeah, I like waiting. I'm used to it. I'm sure he is. Zebra Boy waited 5 years to ask a single question. To find out why a woman betrayed him. To him, 30 minutes must have been like a blink of the eye. You were watching the car. That bridge, other side is broken. Nobody can come from there. So I was watching car. What else were you expecting him to do? Suppose that's the obvious thing to do, but something's bothering me. I'm getting that feeling. A contradiction? Wonder what's on the other side of the broken bridge anyway. No one lives there. There's a small shrine up on the mountain, but that's it. Anyway, nobody came. No car. Nothing. And one woman came, stood in front of me. Mr. Falls, think carefully now. Are you certain that it was Valerie Hawthorne? I never lie. It's the truth. It was Valerie. I remember her face. Wait a minute. If you remember her face, then why'd you make her wear a scarf as identification? Sorry. I told a little lie. But that woman I met, she was different from the woman standing here now. She was different. It was Valerie. Talked and then she left. What did you talk to her about anyway? Mr. Falls. Valerie told the truth about the kidnapping 5 years ago. She said someone needed to take the blame for it. That was all I could think to do. She said that. That's why she lied. Got me the death penalty. And were you satisfied with that answer, witness? Dahlia died. It was my fault. But I don't really remember. Maybe I did. Maybe I did push her in. It don't matter no more. Either way, my Dahlia, the sweet teen angel, dead. But you just saw that she isn't dead. After Valerie talked to me on bridge, nothing left to live for. How can you be so sure? It was raining at the time, and sunset that day was at 5 o'clock. It would have already been pretty dark on that mountain at 4:30. Please, Mr. Falls, this is your last chance. You've already taken the fall once for something you didn't do. That woman. It wasn't Dahlia. Stop right there. What more needs to be said? Even if it means the death penalty. Even if it means taking the blame for murder. You'll still do whatever it is necessary to protect her, won't you, Mr. Falls? I know it's obvious, but he's clearly lying. He's been cursed by Dahlia Hawthorne. He'll probably go to his grave still believing in her. Mr. Falls, even if you can show he's lying, the poor guy will still be cursed. You'll just have to point out the contradiction anyway. That's the curse of being a defense lawyer, I guess. I feel like I need to present this. He was like, oh, woman came, stood in front of me. How? Where does she come from? That part of the bridge is broken. So when you got to the bridge, no one had arrived, huh? Looks like I was right. So you waited on the bridge. You're sure of that? Yeah, I'm sure. You're sure, huh? Well, then I'm sure too, Mr. Falls. I'm sure that you're lying. Huh? What? Oh? I would love to hear your rationale on this, Miss Faye. You want to know who arrived at the bridge first? Just look at this photo. It's perfectly clear. Obviously, the person that came first would be the one at the end of the bridge, right? But that's the victim at the end of the bridge. Precisely my point. In other words, Mr. Falls, you must have arrived at the bridge after she did. Mr. Falls? Please don't get so worked up. We just want the truth. I got there around 4 o'clock. It's true. I had somewhere to go. A special place. Did you go to this special place before you went to the bridge? Yeah. It's an old temple about 15 minutes from the bridge. 5 years ago, me and Dahlia, we promised each other. We swore we wouldn't betray each other. She brought a memento to represent our love. Oh my God. A memento? 5 years ago. I hid it under base of tree there. It's a special memory for me. This is it. This is what I went to get. Ooh. This little bottle on a necklace is your memento? It's quite charming, but it looks empty. Your Honor, you heard what my client said. He arrived at the scene at 4 o'clock. but he then left his car unattended and walked away. He was gone for approximately 30 minutes. Urk. With that much time, Dahlia Hawthorne could have easily hidden the body in the trunk of his car. No. Indeed. Certainly was enough time for it. Still got a chance. Mr. Falls, there's no mistaking it. Uh-oh. Oh, fuck. The fucking water. Huh? Mr. Falls? Oh my god. That's enough. Please. Witness? I promised her 5 years ago. If it ever happens that we can't trust each other no more, then we're supposed to drink bottle. Oh my god. Oh, okay. Wow. No. Stop the trial, Your Honor. We need a recess. I was stupid. Couldn't keep promise. So I did it. I drank this. No. We're so close. Just a little more. I was going to prove your innocence. No. Don't want that. Don't trust self. Maybe kill again. Kill sweet Dahlia again. Mr. Falls. Mr. Armando. Thanks for the coffee. This is some bullshit. But also that makes her public, the primest of prime suspects. How does she poison Armand, or attempt to no, because she had to get rid of the evidence. That's when she gave it to Phoenix, because she was being taken away for questioning. Oh, and did Armando feel guilt and just like change his own identity? Like he felt responsible for this? So my first trial ended suddenly and tragically. It ended with no winners, only losers. Ended up with a wound that cut so deep into my soul I thought it'd never heal. I'm sure it was the same for the young prosecutor as well. But one person, the true criminal Dahlia Hawthorne, she left the courtroom with a secret smile on her demonically sweet face. Until 1 year later. Unforgivable. That witch. Mr. Armando. You were so close to the truth. It was right there in front of us. You were just a little too soft, kitten. It's my fault. It's all my fault that Mr. Falls killed himself. Don't cry, kitten. You're gonna make my coffee all salty. I knew it. I knew I wasn't cut out for this. Mia, don't you get it? You can't cry yet. What the fuck? What the fuck? The only time a lawyer can cry is when it's all over. Mr. Armando? Also, what's with all the blood all of a sudden? No matter how tough the case, no matter how bitter the memories, they always fade over time. You file them away and eventually forget them. One year later, in this very same courthouse, I myself got wrapped up in that case. Only after that did Dahlia Hawthorne get put on trial for her crimes. The verdict that was ultimately handed down to her was guilty, of course. Naturally, when the verdict was read, she had a perfect angelic smile on her face. It was finally all over. At least that's what I thought at the time. Unfortunately, I couldn't have been more wrong. It's been 5 years, but now something has happened that's made me remember all this. What? Well, a new episode has been added. Is that Ami Faye? Wait, what the... What? Something happened that made him remember all this. What, is Dahlia back? In prison, though. Did they have a run-in? Did she have a run-in with Morgan Faye? Who's still plotting her little revenge thing? Huh. Okay. Wow, that's going to be interesting. Next time we start chapter 5. Sorry for my abysmal showing up on the beginning. I guess I should have been just paying more attention to exactly everything Edgeworth was saying, but yeah, oh boy. I have no clue where this is going to go, because it looked like Phoenix was in the hospital. And now stuff from the past is going to come back. I don't know where this is going to go. Thank you all for watching. Have a great day. See you next time for some more Let's Play Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, Trials and Tribulations. Starting up the final chapter. Goodbye.